Sunday night football. All eyes are on the showdown between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. As always, Super Bowl ads are the hottest topic between plays. Our screens are suddenly filled with an HD image of space. A T-Mobile ad announces that the carrier will be partnering with Starlink to bring satellite communication to all. The thing is, they really meant for all. The deal for free satellite connection is even available to customers on competitor carriers like Verizon and AT&T. Technology primarily used for the military is once again filtering down to civilian hands. But why would Elon Musk put one of his prized products up for free, even if just for a limited time? Well, as the old saying goes, if something is free, you are the product. But as we marvel at the tech, let's not forget the bigger picture. Elon Musk now has his hands in satellites, social media, and telecom. Is this a visionary leap forward or a dangerous consolidation of power that blurs the line between public service and private profit? My name is Ellie Davis, and this is Data Darling.
All right, so first question that came in advance from somebody in the press was, do I need a special T-Mobile plan? And, you know, as I said in my remarks, we're not here to announce the product yet, but my vision for this is that on our most popular plans, we're just going to go ahead and include this. And, you know, we feel like that's what the Un-carrier does. That's important. Now, there may be low-cost plans that don't include it, and there our aspiration is to charge a monthly service fee that will be far less than the monthly service fees charged by today's satellite connectivity services. But for the most popular plans at T-Mobile, our vision is to just go ahead and include it for free, just like we did with the global connectivity for our cellular roaming partners all around the world.
T-Mobile and Starlink's connection started 3 years ago in 2022. T-Mobile CEO Mike Sievert tapped Starlink CEO Elon Musk to help the carrier fill in their coverage weak spots, particularly in rural areas. For a small investment of $350 for the hardware and $120 a month for service, Starlink promises you high-speed Wi-Fi wherever you are, no matter how remote. If you can see the sky, Starlink will connect. From all the reviews I've seen, Starlink itself seems like a very reliable product. Their parent company, SpaceX, also owned and operated by Musk, currently has 7,500 satellites in Earth's orbit. This is a no-brainer for T-Mobile. The race for faster and faster phone service has been neck and neck for decades. Normally, when a service provider wants to improve their coverage areas, they can acquire a smaller service company and absorb their coverage network, or they can invest in their own infrastructure by improving or building cell towers. The World Trade Order strongly encourages infrastructure sharing in this case. Interconnection can keep a cutthroat industry friendly. One can only imagine the proliferation of satellites that would occur if operators were not encouraged to share their infrastructure. With their SpaceX partnership, T-Mobile is able to offer direct-to-cellular service before their competitors, and possibly begin to solve the issue of rural connectivity that's been plaguing the country for years.
Now, whenever we send information from one person to another,
I don't like anchovies.
Well, I do.
we need something to send it with. We need a structure. What scientists call an information infrastructure.
While writing the script, I found that delightful little episode from Bill Nye's show from 30 years ago, introducing his young audience to America's infrastructure project. It's amazing to see how far we've come in 30 years, but with great connectivity comes great responsibility and potential risks. Who would have thought that this is where the satellite industry would be in just a few decades? Well, for one, the Department of Defense. After 9/11, the American government focused their resources on protecting the flag. If you didn't know it already, most modern technology that we have is because the military needed it first. If they didn't directly invent it, they often pour money in through contracts to ensure what they need will be available. Satellite communication is no exception. A RAND report published in 2002 under the Project Air Force arm analyzes whether the satellite communication capacity will adequately meet their projected 2010 communication needs. Their communication needs include speed capacity for intelligence, access to remote battlefields for accurate assessment, and all the benefits and implications of needing communication that is resistant to electromagnetic pulses. And in layman terms for that last one, nuclear-proof communications. Ultimately, it was determined that the natural needs of civilian communication would align with their own needs. While production was still slow enough where the DoD couldn't impulse buy a satellite with the same speed that I wear out my Amex, they did predict the 32 months needed for production would also fall with time. Even though the DoD determined they didn't need to build their own infrastructure, this report caused a ripple effect. When someone from the feds is expressing interest in an industry, the industry responds by preparing themselves for business hours. In the same year this unassuming 27-page report was published, Elon Musk founded SpaceX. So when I first saw the Super Bowl ad, I thought two things. One, is it a conflict of interest for a private entity to access citizen data both through a government agency like DOGE and through a partnership with a telecom company that handles the metadata of millions of citizens? And two, these other companies are not going to like Musk publicly courting customers away. Open market rules be damned. So, in the spirit of petty halftime show beef, we're going to start with the market share wars. Okay, so here's our timeline. We have our big press release in August of 2022. In February of 2023, SpaceX and T-Mobile sent in parallel filings. SpaceX files to add direct-to-cell coverage to the 7,500 Starlink satellites already in orbit. Then T-Mobile filed. Their filing informs the FCC that they will be transferring the responsibility of managing their spectrum coverage to Starlink. A white flag, once again promising no merger that would threaten antitrust laws, just friendly interconnection. In April of 2023, the FCC's Space Bureau and Wireless Telecommunications Bureau asked for comments about the SpaceX and T-Mobile filings. AT&T responded a month later, asking that the FCC implement a waiver-based approach to permitting satellite communications, only to ensure that overall coverage isn't affected because of crowded skies. In the same filing is a request to allow fellow Texas-based satellite company, AST Space Mobile, be approved as their own spectrum manager, so that they, too, can improve coverage for their customer base. Verizon filed a similar complaint, also choosing to partner with AST Space Mobile for their spectrum needs. Another show of keeping the friendly skies clutter-free. SpaceX responds with, AT&T is just mad, do better business, or get out of the way. That is deeply condensed, but I will have the filing linked in the transcript and the description. The three have been going back and forth amongst the courts ever since. It's no coincidence that at Donald Trump's second inauguration, Elon Musk positioned himself shoulder to shoulder with two other tech titans, Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos. Meta and Amazon are not just defined by their flagship products, but by the vast worlds of information they control. Zuckerberg and Meta dominate the social fabric of the globe, shaping international telecom policy. Bezos and Amazon, on the other hand, cater to the material needs of society, tracking your home, its contents, and every layer of your consumption. Musk, meanwhile, is striving to create a world we can't escape. His acquisition of Twitter mirrors Bezos' media venture with the Washington Post, while his vision for an interconnected ecosystem, combining Starlink, X, and other ventures, echoes Meta's strategy with Instagram and WhatsApp. Musk's ultimate goal? To ensure you never need to leave his universe to stay connected. If building an alluring digital world is the goal, a direct tap into national data would make SpaceX the most powerful player in the game. But at what cost? What do you think? Should private entities like SpaceX have this much control over our connectivity? Or is this the future we need? And more importantly, at what point does innovation become a threat to our privacy and autonomy? Thank you for listening. My name is Ellie Davis. This is Data Darling. And remember, when in doubt, follow the data.